Does your door handle do this versus this? Well, you probably need this part. In this video, we're gonna show you from the beginning to the end how to fix your door handle. It's a common issue, and I think there's something wrong with like the actuator, but we're gonna show you how to take off the door panel, we're gonna take off the door handle, we're gonna switch out the module and put everything back together. Let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect the battery and we're gonna leave the window up, but just make sure not to slam the door or anything like that because the window mechanism will not be going up with the battery disconnected. All right, pop this panel right here. Then we're gonna get a 10mm socket. All right, we've got the negative terminal. Just gonna loosen it. We're gonna pop it up. I like to put a sock just so it doesn't make contact again. Just like that. Boop. You set this like this. We're gonna gently set the hood down. You're gonna need some trim tools. If they're new, you most likely won't need to put tape on them. If they're older and they have like little edges or they're scarred or anything like that, you're gonna have to put some tape on them because we don't wanna hurt our door panel. Okay, so we have a trim tool. We're gonna put it behind this bad boy and we're gonna push out. As you saw, we got one tab out. Got another one. So this one right here has to slide out to the right and it comes out like this. We have two screws. We have one right here and then one down here. I'm going to use my screwdriver. I'm going to remove them. Pretty easy stuff. It's got a washer as well. Don't lose that. All right, I think we have our washer in here we have to get. Looks like the washer on here is stuck. We'll leave it there for now. Okay, we're now gonna pry the door panel. I've got my tool. I'm gonna start right here. The manual states to start around here, but this is where I can stick mine in. And I first heard the first pop, and then you're gonna glide it down. We're gonna get just like that. Once you get the bottom part open, you could use your hand to pop them off all the way around. And the manual says that you're supposed to replace them, but we're not gonna do that. Okay, so we got them loose. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pop our tweeter off. Really easy to do. Pops off, and then we're gonna disconnect it, push it in, and pull out, and it's out. All right, so this is actually a trim piece, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to screw it out as much as you can, grab it, and then there's one more part. There's a part right here that comes out. If you see it, make sure that it stays in there, and that's out. Now we're gonna come around. And then, just like most door panels, this slides up and over, but we've got a ton of harnesses we need to detach. Okay, we're now gonna take the panel and we're gonna go up because we have to go over this lip like that. You have to do this for both sides. So once you've got that loose, you're gonna go around the handle like I did, and then you've got to hold it, and then you have some connectors you've gotta take out. And these connectors are also attached via like a bracket. And then we have a light down here. Boop. All right, guys, check this out. You see this little connector right here? It pulls it to that direction, then you pull that out. So I'm using my trim tool, and I took it off, and I didn't break it because I pushed down on it, and I was able to save it. And our panel's off. Before we start, we're gonna show you something. You need to tape this handle, otherwise it's gonna get damaged. Now it's time for us to take these plugs off, and what you're gonna do is just gonna push them in, take them out. And we're gonna take this one off. And this is the only part that sucks because this is designed to keep stuff out, which I don't like that we have to peel it back, but it's part of the job. And the reason why is because we have to get in there, and this is where we're gonna have to navigate. But I can tell you right now, it's pretty sticky, so we might be able to just put it back on. It's a very interesting adhesive. All right, we're gonna start with that. Okay, we gotta take these bolts off of the locking mechanism, the hinge receptor. I'm just marking them because I'm weird. I wanna put them back where they went instead of having to figure out if they're tight or not. We're also gonna see if these came with Loctite from the factory. They did. So we're gonna have to put some Loctite back on whenever we put them back in. Not very strong Loctite because you can see I'm able to take them off with my hand. So let me show you real quick. We're gonna have to take off that bolt, the one above, and then we're gonna disconnect this connector. And then there's some bolts back there too, but we're also gonna have to remove this mechanism so we can take out the unit. So let's get that taken care of right now. This thing right here. And now that the bolt's out, we're gonna grab it and then we're going to maneuver it down so we can get this rod out of the way. And you have to disconnect this so everything can actually come down. Okay, so that's the rod right there that we have to push down like this. Just like that. They made one easy for us. You could see it in here. So we're gonna loosen it. We don't want it to fall, so I'm gonna put my hand around here to try to catch it. All right, and I have it. Take this one off. There's gonna be another bolt right here. Boop. All right, we got it. And we have another bolt behind here, so we gotta move this over because we have another bolt right there. And there's like a plastic seal. We don't want to puncture it. We just want to pull it back so we can get to the final bolt. And like I said, we're going to peel this back. We don't want to hurt it. And then we got our final bolt right here. We also don't want to drop this bolt down into that galley, so I'm going to use my magnet as well. And we got it. If you can't take the connectors off, you could remove this part. It was really hard to do it, but I got it off. And that allows you to remove the connectors. Once you take it out, it'll be like this, and you can remove them. Otherwise, you won't be able to get this out, and these connectors are hard. So again, you could use this part, take this part off right here. It's like a little grommet holder, so you can go around and actually take them off when you're about to remove it all. So we're gonna be replacing this part. This part is in charge of opening and closing the handle. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take off some screws first to access the back part. Okay, once we access it, you can see over here there's a lot going on. What we need to do is remove this part. We're gonna go ahead and lift up this tab here so we can let it out. But we also have to do the same with this one. And then, so you don't forget how stuff goes, just slide it over gently. Okay, so you're gonna put this piece underneath here, and it kind of sets down here in this little spot right here. So you put this piece down, and then you start to push this one down, and then you could align it really easy and it snaps in. All right, let's go ahead and lock these down. And you wanna make sure they click. Now we have our new module here, but if you look right here, there's a little bit of grease, but not enough. I'm gonna put some on. So we're gonna add a little bit of grease. I'm using the good old super lube, just to allow stuff to move around. And now we're gonna put this little cover back on. Just goes like that. We got our screws that we need to go back in. And then we're gonna put that in. We're gonna wipe it down and it's good to go back in. All right, we gotta put it back in, and super crucial to make sure that that is covered. And trying to be gentle we got to slide everything back in. Okay, so we got it on there, and we're gonna start putting the bolts on, but we're not gonna tighten it all the way. And I can tell you right now, navigating it is a pain, but what you have to do is you kind of have to scoop it in there, because this kind of goes like this. So you have to put that sensor part, you have to come up and scoop it in there. It's kind of funky, but once you get in there, go ahead and put the bolts in so you can at least hold it, and then we can start connecting some connectors. All right, guys, when you're putting stuff back, you have to put this part first. Of course, put the rod back in, and then put this on, but you have to put like the rod inside this thing. This is not an easy job. This is a big pain in the butt. And then you have to do these bolts. But before I put everything back together, we need to test it. We did check, and this does work, which is awesome. And check this out, guys. Remember our lines? This lets us go right to our lines, and we know where we could stop, so we don't have to retorque them. Okay, we'll put our grommets back, and then we slowly put this part back. I made sure that I went around it slowly to make sure that we got all of it attached. And now we're gonna put our door panel on, and then we got some words to tell you at the end, which we think are as important, so stay tuned. And it's fixed. Woohoo! And we're done. I highly recommend that you guys take your time, remember how things are removed so you can put them back in the correct order, and make sure you tape that door handle so stuff doesn't get scratched. Now my hands are beat up, I've got scratches, and I cut myself. This is not an easy job. A lot of stuff is tight, it's very frustrating, it's doable, but it's definitely not an easy one. Well, I hope this video is gonna help someone in the future. Please press the like button for us, we appreciate that. You guys take care, good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.